Hey, what's going on, guys? I am standing up. Standing up. I don't know if I was standing up. Yes, I think I was standing up on yesterday's video. Oh yeah, I was, because then I realized on the other ones I was sat down like a lazy fuck doing a video. I'm like, bro, you got a standing desk. You don't get a standing desk to sit down, do you? Fucking hell. So I thought, well, I'm gonna stand up this time and answer today's question. So I had somebody post inside of the Power Tribe 2.0, which you can join. The link is down below in the comments. If you want to join a community of survivors that is purely based around self-development, growing, healing, transforming, then you want to join that. Okay, it's just $10 a month. That is it, cheapest chips, and you're going to get access to courses, coaching, accountability, community, everything that you possibly need. And we actually have just launched the Be Powerful Challenge. I mean, technically starts in 7 days time, but it's been launched today, so everyone can go through like a 7-day build-up phase. And I basically put this together. So it's basically around the version that you are today, right, has brought you to where you are right now with the current life that you want to live. Now, most of you watching this want to make some changes. You want to grow as a person. You kind of want to shed the skin that you're wearing now and adopt a new one and live a completely different life, one of freedom. Where does that freedom lie? Emotionally, financially, spiritually, who knows? But you just want to live a different life. You want to live a better life, one that you deserve, one that's powerful. That's what that Be Powerful 60-day challenge is all about. So if you want to know more about that, then feel free to click the link down below in the comments to join the community. Now, inside the community, we had an amazing woman post a question asking me something. Now, I would share my screen, but with the Power Tribe 2.0, unless they say, hey Perry, you can share my face, I tend to err on the side of just privacy, because it's a group of survivors. Not everyone wants to be out and proud and show their face, and I just want to respect that. But she posted, she's titled it Family Relationships, and she says, hey Perry, I'm not sure how to word this well, but how do you repair broken relationships with family members after a divide has been caused due to the trauma, or, as in my case, due to my own trauma reactions and lack of ability to communicate what was happening at the time? It's a powerful question. It's a very fucking deep question. How do you repair damages done to others you weren't even trying to do? And how in the world are you supposed to forgive yourself for hurting someone you love when you made a promise not to pass down your traumas and abuse and still manage to hurt them anyway? I know there's a lot of questions there, Perry, but you just have some great wisdom. Well, thank you. I try, and that wisdom brings clarity. Oh, we all love a bit of clarity. Thanks in advance, Perry. No problem. No problem at all. Right. So, due to my own trauma reactions and lack of ability to communicate what was happening at the time. So, essentially, this is very difficult. And I just, first of all, want to thank you for being so open about this detail within the world of trauma. I think a lot of time not a lot of time, but there are actually, to be fair, there's a lot of survivors out there that have hurt those that they've loved, whether it's because they've shared their story and it's gone against their wishes and they've hurt them in that way, or just our own PTSD and our own ways of trauma workings that we have hurt those around us and we didn't mean to. And I think that is actually quite common, but I don't think a lot of survivors talk about that, because that's just another layer of, like, we don't want to air that shit because we don't want to admit that we've hurt people that we love. Mainly because we don't want to voice that, because we don't really want to accept that ourselves, So I just want to commend you for actually sharing that. I think that's big, and I think it's going to help a lot of people who watch this, who be like, shit, yeah, that's me. I hurt my partner, I hurt my mum, I hurt my cousin, I hurt my friend, because I haven't dealt my shit and it's been lashed out onto them in different ways. Now, what I first want to say is that you can't, okay, cool, you might have fucked up in some areas. cool, I might have fucked up in some areas. Whether we meant to or not, whether it's our fault or not our fault, we're not going to get into those shenanigans. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter whether, where our intentions were. It's just at the end of the day, what happened is what happened. And we're allowed to feel shit about it, especially if it's someone that we love and we really wish that relationship hadn't been damaged because of what we've done. I think that we have to first just own it. We have to not be too harsh on ourselves, because I think that's just going to have a damaging effect long term anyway, and it's just going to spit out into different areas. And the outcome that you want to achieve, you won't be able to achieve it if you're beating yourself up all the time. So you have to forgive yourself, is basically what the first step is. Forgive yourself, right? And you'll find that forgiveness through the awareness that the intentions were pure and you didn't do it from a place of spite, and the fact that sometimes shit happens when we haven't healed. Trauma takes on a life of its own within us. You just got to read the book Body Keeps the Score, and it just shows you how it just manifests in different ways. And sometimes the way that it manifests does result in lashing out on people. Whether it's obvious lashing out or it's very under the radar lashing out that takes a while to get to the surface, and the damage is fucking raw. But you got to forgive yourself. Okay, that's the first step. All right. Now, second is that, once you've forgiven yourself, then you can make some efforts in trying to rekindle that relationship, trying to heal that. And that can come in many different forms. It can come in the fact that you give them a ring, you can knock on their door, you send them a text, you write them a letter. Just a couple different touch points where you are apologizing, you're explaining that happened as a result of you not... I do think that we need to take extreme ownership. And if it was a result of us, then we need to own that and say, listen, it was completely my fault. I fucked up, and, it's come because I haven't got as much as I haven't sought out as much help as I should have done. Or if you have, the healing journey's been rough, and I've lashed out in many different ways, and I've hurt a lot of different people, and unfortunately you are one of them. I really hope that you accept my apology here, whether you do that today or in 12 months time or in 20 years time. Just take the time that you need to heal on your own, because don't forget, right? Everybody has their own lens. Everybody has their own traumas. So whoever you've hurt, intentionally or unintentionally, whatever has happened between you and that person, they have seen what they've taken what you've done to them. Okay, I don't know the details, so just it's hard for me to give specific advice on without knowing exactly what happened, but try to understand the sort of premise that I'm trying to lay out here. So whatever you've done to them, they have received that in a way that could be even more damaging than you might think, because it's triggering their own traumas. Like, we have no idea how someone's responding to what we've said or done. We have no idea. And I think we'll stir ourselves crazy trying to understand that, because everyone's fucking different. Everyone. I saw a quote, David Goggins, he said it on a podcast, and he said, everyone is fucked up. That's what he said. He said, everyone is fucked up. Just that some people are better at hiding it than others. So if we acknowledge that everyone is fucked up, I think it does allow us to forgive ourselves even more. But that's just a side note. But, you want to give them an apology, which I'm going to assume you have done. Again, I don't know the details of your story, but if you haven't done already, definitely apologize. But take full responsibility and say that, you've probably hurt quite a few people and they're one of them. And, you're trying to repair some relationships with people that mean the world to you, and they are one of them. And that you're going to give them the time to heal from what has happened between you both. Don't put a time pressure on it, right? And give them that time. And here's what I truly believe is that if we remind ourselves that whatever is outside of our control is outside of our control, so we cannot try to control it, because it's a sure fucking path to insanity. You can't control whether they're going to forgive you. You can't control whether they reply back to your text or write back or answer your call or give you a call. You can't control any of that. And a lot of times when we hound someone, we push them away. And I think there's a lot of power in distance. And if you have said, and you know that they've seen it, like you sent a letter, you know it's gone to their house, right? You sent a text, it says read. You've had a couple touch points, and you know that they have received it. I feel like that is when you need to back away, because they know it, and they might read that text first and be like, nah, you're fucking talking shit. Like, you're an attention seeker, or you know that you maliciously hurt me, or I don't care about your traumas because I got my own traumas and you really hurt me. Like, they have a negative reaction. If they have a negative reaction, cool. I know for a fact, I've read texts in the past, I've heard somebody say something and I've reacted in a certain way, and time's gone on, and I look back at what they said, and my reaction is completely different, because my awareness has changed. I've grown, time has gone, things have healed, and I'm like, you know what? That's cool, man. Like, everyone's human. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone fucks up. And you know what? I forgive you. I've done some shit in my life. I've said some shady shit. And, we're not perfect. So I forgive you, and, let's move forward. And again, that's outside your control. But I know you've probably experienced that, because we all have. So I think at the end of the day, as long as we have forgiven ourselves, okay, we've loved ourselves, and it's cool. I fucked up, but you know what? It is what it is, and I forgive myself from that, and I'm just going to make sure it doesn't happen again, to the best of my ability. And then you reach out and you apologize, and maybe in a couple different ways. Text them, maybe give them a call, leave a voicemail, like a couple of weeks later. Like, who knows? Just a couple of touch points, but not too much. And then back off. If you still haven't heard anything, back off, and then have faith. Have faith in the universe, in God, whatever you believe. Have faith that person, if it's meant to be, if they're worthy of being in your life and you're worthy of being in their life, they will come knocking on your door, because you've given them enough time, which comes with distance, for them to heal and for them to look at what happened and see it through a different lens. Okay? It's not going to come from brute force. It's going to come from you trying, you doing what you can do that's within your control, and then taking a step back. You live your life, progress, okay? Improve, self-improvement, personal development, do everything you possibly can to level up and grow as a human being. Because then when they come back, it's similar. As I'm saying this, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when there's been a rift in a relationship between you and your partner, and let's just say you've done something to fuck up in a relationship, and the partner says, I can't believe you've done that. Like, it's fucking stupid. I need to leave. And then they leave, and then, they've left, and you realize what you had, because now it's gone, and you try everything you can to get them back. You texting them, you're hounding them, you're doing everything. Please come back. Please come back. I love you so much. Please, I fucked up. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, pathetic human being. Please come back. I can't live without you. Blah, 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 blah. That person ain't coming back 9 times out of 10. You're pushing them away with every single message, okay? Because it's coming from desperation. But if they walk away and you send them 1, maybe 2 very heartfelt messages to say, yes, I fucked up, I'm going to take complete ownership, I would love to have you back in my life. But if that's not for you, I completely get it, and I'm going to give you your time. And then that's it. Yeah, you've put the ball in their court, and that's it. Nothing, right? They don't hear from you. The chance of them coming back now skyrockets, because they go away. But now in that time period, you're working on yourself, okay? You're going to the gym, you're eating better, you're meditating, you're watching videos around personal development, you're healing, you got yourself a therapist, whatever. You're doing things to grow as a person, and then they come knocking back on your door and say, hey, let's have a chat. And then you have an update, and then, they're like, wow, okay, you're taking this growth thing seriously. Interesting. You see what I mean? It's just difference of night and day, and it just reminds me of that, because I think it's very similar when it comes to relationships outside of a romantic relationship, like a love relationship, family member, friends. I think there's obviously differences, but I think there's a lot of similarities. There's power in distance as long as you've set the foundations right. So I hope that helped. All right, but the first thing that I want you to remember is that you have to forgive yourself first. All right, you have to forgive yourself first, because then that's when you get your power. And then with that power, you grow. And then if that person decides they want to come back and they accept your apology, they will feel that power. And they'll be like, fair play. I love that. You know? What we've been doing recently is catch up. And then you bring it up. No, listen, that's behind us. Don't talk about it. Just forget it. Okay? That's a chapter of the last book. I've closed that book. Not interested in it anymore. We're starting a new book now. We're on a new chapter. All right. Now, what if that time doesn't come? What if that family member or friend doesn't reach out? Well, I mean, here's the thing. What time do you put on this? If 6 months go by and I haven't reached out, does that mean, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. You reaching out again, saying, hey, please, I'm so sorry, is not going to change much. They're aware, and if there was anything real to begin with, you're on their mind. They're aware of you. So don't think anything different. They'll come back when it's ready. Okay? Don't beat yourself up. Everyone's human. Everyone fucks up. Everyone is fucked up. All right? Just some people are better at hiding it than other people. All right? Hope that helped.